My name's Emily Wynn. I am a ceramic artist working and living on Butchiku land in Nawi, creating and making and living here. I am originally from the Shire, so I moved to the Shire when I was quite young and I've been there for a very long time. I love so much of being near the national park just around the corner, the Royal National Park. I love being near the ocean. I love being able to walk through the beautiful scenery. And although I've moved now, it's still very much a part of my practice, the nature and the floral motifs that I put into my work. At the moment, my family is my mum, my sister, and me and my partner and my lovely cat Tobias, who's a very irritating assistant, but we love him very much. It was always something fun and crafty around the house, and that definitely inspired me and realised that I loved art and I really wanted it as a forefront of my life. And noticed that Gaimia TAFE was running diploma courses for ceramics, and I thought, I've got a year, let's try it, let's do something great and exciting and inspiring, and it's something that's absolutely stuck to me like glue. I don't know what I'd do without it. So I really started to put my all into it. I finished the diploma, and I think a lot of people thought that I would finish and that I'd go and find a real job, but I thought, no, let's go round two, we're gonna do the advanced diploma. So I did another 2 years of the advanced diploma, and that's definitely where I started to find my feet, started to realize what I wanted to focus on in ceramics as well. And for a long time, I was finding my feet was really loving making vase forms. As pretty much from the get-go when I was wheel throwing, I noticed that every time I would make something, it would always have a neck, it would always be flared, it would always be a little bit more extravagant than just your normal little pot. And so I really started to hone into that. So during my advanced diploma, I focused just on making vases. Vases are definitely my forte. So I started to really lean into making vases, and I couldn't help myself just making vases. I needed to make it a little bit more funky, adding something that you would want to show off on your mantelpiece. I always imagine my pieces sitting not just on someone's dining table or in the corner. I want it to take up space. I want it to bring some light and some, ooh, look at that, whenever people walk into a house, and be something different. So I started making the swirl series, or the squiggle series, as I like to call it, where I wanted to add a little bit of flair and a little bit of movement into my pieces. So I also thought of them as the Medusa series, where I wanted it to look like it was wrapping around the pot, where every time you moved the piece, you kind of wanted to peek around the corner and see what was happening with it. So that was something really exciting that I enjoyed making during when I was doing my advanced diploma. It also did help that there was a kiln right on site next to my door, so instead of having to carry it in my car to a kiln, I could just float it into the kiln right next to me. So it started to become a bit more of an issue when I made them not in the TAFE studio, purely because there were too many breaks and too many catastrophes that I thought, once I have my kiln at home, I might pick up on that again, but it was just too much of a fear factor to keep making them. But so this then led on to what I would call more of my sculptural, definitely inspired by Art Deco and Art Nouveau pieces. I'm really enjoying making additions or handles, as they originally were going to be, that accentuate the pot and make it a bit larger than life. Trying to bring that focus into my pieces and into the handles that I create. So at the moment, I've been using quite a lot of the Black Wattle Sandy paper clay. I love this clay, especially for making some of my harder pieces, a little bit more fiddly, some pieces that definitely are prone to cracking. I find the Black Wattle clay is amazing, purely because the paper in the clay really wants to keep together. So I find when I'm making a lot of my handles, or even sometimes the necks of my pieces, there are quite a few times when they want to separate, where they're very finicky and it's very prone to cracking. I find the Black Wattle does a really good job of holding all of my pieces together, and especially during raku firings. So in the past, I've done a few raku firings where I've wanted to put some of my more intricate pieces in, and the sandy paper clay has been the only one that has survived with my fancy pieces. So at the moment with my glazing process with a lot of my pieces, I was very lucky when I was studying at TAFE that there was glazes galore, so many to choose from. Since I've left, I've definitely had to choose and pick which ones I want to bring to life and what I find works with the shape that I'm using and what mood I'm creating. A glaze that I have absolutely loved using is the Raku Clear Crackle. I absolutely love using this glaze. Every time I use it, it never turns out the same. Sometimes I'll have little cracks, sometimes I'll have large cracks in the glaze, but this glaze is very different and something that is hard to make. So I love showing it off and showing people what I can make and how it accentuates my pieces and really highlights the underglaze floral pattern that I've been doing as well. So I was really excited by the crawling glazes. It's something that I have noticed is definitely very hot and popular at the moment, and I wanted to try and make a little bit of a spin on my own. I wanted to make something where I could have my pieces pop with colour but still have something very tactile, very touchy-feely, something that's fun that everyone wants to look at and pick up. So the Crackle Glaze was born. It's a 1200 firing that I've been really enjoying using. I coat the pieces originally with a slip that I've created myself. I really enjoy using blue. I'm not sure why, I'm always drawn to it. And then once that has been bisque fired, I love placing the crawling glaze on, having a bit of fun splashing it around. And whenever I get it out of the kiln, it's always a surprise. I have no idea what it's going to look like. I'm usually crossing my fingers that it's going to look good, but for the most part, it's looked good, which has made me really happy. So clay, I've definitely found has been something that has been very, very therapeutic for myself. It's definitely something that has relaxed me, but also inspired me and gotten me out of a funk many a time, not just once, but more than I can even think of. It's definitely something that humbles you. If you're not in a great mood, it's not really going to want to work for you. So it definitely makes you have to be intentional about how you're feeling and what you want to do. If I ever find I come into the studio and I'm in a bad mood, I don't know what I want to make, I'm getting really frustrated, clay definitely makes me take a moment to think, come back to myself, rest, and then kind of push myself on, get excited to really make something exciting and just to enjoy the process. If my piece has broken and flailing on the ground, there's always a moment where I definitely need to relax. But it gets me more excited for the next time because I go, all right, didn't work this time, how can we make it better next time? And I really love that part of clay. The art world can be such a big, scary void that you look into and go, how could I even think of becoming a part of this or putting myself into this world? And to put your piece out consistently time after time and hoping for a little bit back, to have people recognize you or to have people admire or want to buy your work, just fills me with so much excitement and going, I might be doing it. I might have, done a bit of something which has meant the absolute world to me and has definitely been something that still makes me excited every time I sell a piece. I go, someone bought something today, that's amazing. One piece just fills me with joy for the rest of the day. So here I am, almost 5 years later, being absolutely obsessed and working out of my studio. This is my little space that I love to make. I think I see the world of Emily Wynn in the future to create more collections where each piece is intentional, to put myself into more exciting and unique experiences. I'm really able to put my full self forward into my ceramics. I guess that would be the ultimate dream, is being able to have every day as an Emily Wynn Co day.